And we're back. Hello everybody, DarkPhoenix Gaming here, and welcome back to Vampyr. Last time we left off, we disposed of Aloysius Dawson, putting a premature end to his dream to become a vampire and build a wall between the rich and the poor. And now... we have things to do. Quick, get outside. Darn it, we missed it. There was a special event thing we could have eavesdropped on from Mother, but I wasn't in the right place to do so. Anyways, we also found out that old Bridget was turned into a skull by Lord Redgrave. Who, speaking of Lord Redgrave, as you might remember, he was none too pleased about the fact that we ended up killing. He was none too pleased about the fact that we killed our good friend Mr. Dawson, rather than simply turning him into a vampire, unfortunately. So we've been expelled from Ascalon. Not that I really care, to be honest, because fuck Ascalon. Anyways, we also found out that the Garda Prewan is launching an attack on the Pembroke Hospital. So we are heading back there basically right away.
Good evening, Miss Teasdale. How have you been since you returned home?
Dr. Reid. Oh, thank God you returned safely from these awful streets. I was so worried about my father that I left without thanking you properly.
Please don't mention it, miss.
Good. I found him, you know. My dad. Or what was left of him. I think my abductor intended to do the same thing to me.
Probably. Would not surprise me.
Louise, what can you tell me about the vampire who captured you?
The little fucker claimed he'd fallen in love with me. That he wanted to spend eternity.
Yeah, we found something in that
Not a bad
on
idea.
its notes.
At least that's the way it seemed at first.
Really? Did you consider accepting his proposal?
Well, immortality. Not a common wedding gift, is it? I think he just wanted to have his way with me. Can vampires even fuck, Doctor?
Wow.
I really can't answer that. Since they are creatures of blood.
Wonderful.
I suppose an erection is possible.
Oh my god.
I was just asking.
Best question ever. Can vampires even fuck? That is just too much. Wow.
Louise, tell me what you really think about your father's sacrifice to save you.
I'm
Oh
proud
my
he went after me.
god.
I forgive him all his harsh words, all his bloody attitudes. I wish I could tell him how much I loved him.
Yes. It can be
Oh my
traumatic, not having
god.
the chance to say goodbye to those we love.
Yes,
Oh
Doctor.
my god.
And there's no treatment for that type of pain, isn't that right? That may be the last thing my father taught me.
You seem to cherish your father a great deal.
Dad was the best. Kept an eye on me, but let me make my own mistakes. Louise used to say, mistakes are the best teacher. You would have liked him.
I'm sorry you didn't have the opportunity to say goodbye.
That's all right. He's buried in consecrated ground now. Nothing bad can happen to him.
Okay. By the way, have a headache
Medical
cure.
attention, miss.
I don't need your help specifically. I can assure you there are many competent doctors around.
Yeah, well, why wait?
I have no doubt about it, but I'm offering you my help
All right then. But please leave me alone for now.
Okay, fair enough. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Miss Teasdale. And be careful. Until we meet again.
These leaflets were telling the truth all along.
Bit of experience.
Nobody takes them seriously.
And now it's time for us to head back to Pembroke and deal with the issue that has arisen there in the form of the Priwen trying to attack. I probably should have done this before, but let's check. Yes, we're up to 200 stamina now. Very nice. Nom on a rat real quick to get my blood meter a bit full up.
Thirst for blood.
More so than it is now, I mean. Nab some of that crap. Bunch of these Priwen bastards hanging around there. I could try and go around them. In fact,
Best turn around and follow you.
no, there's Priwen down there, so not really a way to go around them. Really depends on which of them I want to murderize.
He's strong, brother.
There you go. Now, I want to kill this guy. Where possible, I would like to make you dead. There we are, nice and deadified. Shotgun shell also. Get through that. And we can be on our way. Over here to the destination. Yes. Not in a place to instant transmission over just yet, but now I am. We're at the Pembroke. And based on what we're told, I think we can expect vampire hunters. A lot of vampire hunters. And I decided to skip out on the conversation with Lady Ashbury, actually, just because this seemed a touch more urgent than having a quick chat with someone. Hospital has plenty of people in it, interestingly enough. We were told it was under attack. What's going on?
Those bastards.
Seriously.
What have they done to Edgar?
Oh, they kidnapped Dr. Swansea. Apparently.
McCullum and his thugs are taking the credit for Edgar's abduction. They really mean business.
Okay. Blood trails are heading to the roof, it looks like. Or the upper floors, which were blocked from being accessed before. That's just another route that we gotta taken up here. Yes, it is the roof that we're after. So, we have business to settle here. Let's do this. I sense a boss fight.
Ultraviolet curtains and talcum powder. Dr. Swansea's always been a resourceful bastard.
You son of a bitch. I am going to kill you.
Vampire attack. Says a lot about how much he trusts you.
What have you done with Edgar?
Don't worry. We don't kill humans.
I notice you didn't say anything about torture.
What are you talking about?
We know everything. Swansea and you created this bloody epidemic.
You're full of shit.
Just like William Marshall did.
No, I'm trying to put an end to it. Just like you are.
You're the progeny, aren't you? Where is the monster hiding? It's still in England, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Jeffrey, please listen to me.
No tricks. That shit won't work on me. We found proof in the theater.
What are you
Doris
on
Fletcher
about?
was our first experiment. Now where is Marshall? Speak!
Okay, this guy has lost it.
So much for modern
He's
technology.
lost it. We're going to have to do this the hard way.
Do you know what this is, Beast? This is a drop of King Arthur's blood. The blood of a true defender of Britain. Stronger than your evil powers.
You're drinking blood, and yet you give us shit for doing the same thing.
This is ridiculous. We're losing precious time.
True enough.
Okay.
Soon I'll bring your head before your coward of a father. If you're so innocent, why does simple life burn you so much?
Okay. I think it's time that we settle this. Hey, bastard.
Close your eyes.
Okay. Heal myself up a little.
I'll take you down.
This guy really is a jackass. Shoot him with some blood.
Come on, Reid. The blood of a true defender of this land will protect me.
Now hold him in place for a second while I regenerate.
Your poisonous bite is useless.
Get back, heal.
Show some style. Fight like a man.
You first, bitch. You first. I mean, that's nowhere near as effective against him as it would be against a vampire.
Oh, it hurts, doesn't it?
But still, going to take advantage of the fact. Back off a bit.
True light will cleanse you. Come on, Reid. Try something else.
I'm superior to you, you're an asshole. So cut it out. I am now going to beat the crap out of you. You are annoying, but not really a threat, McCollum, so...
Close your eyes! This is gonna...
Aww. You think you can beat me? That's so adorable.
Doesn't it?
I mean, you can get a few good knocks in here and there, but
You're so innocent.
that's about it.
What?
Had to use up one of those because he got a few good knocks in. More than I am comfortable with. There, we beat him barely because I got cocky at the end. But this
We are
fight
the
is
guardian of
over.
justice. Freeman shall prevail.
You can't accept the fact we're not enemies, can you?
We always have been, and we always will be. Of all the evils that threaten mankind, your kind are the worst.
Your perspective is a little bit skewed. And you don't seem willing to accept the fact that you were the ones who hunted me down. I did not go after you, seeking to wipe out the Freeman. You provoked this. You are to blame. And I think you know that, even if you won't admit it.
I was only reborn for a few minutes before you and your men hunted me down like a beast.
You were only reborn for a few minutes, and you'd already taken the life of an innocent woman.
There is no
You
way
did
ever let me
not
You'll
do
always
that.
hunt me down.
You did not just bring up Mary.
For there is no way you can sway me to your ideals.
That's where you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
We could sacrifice 1,000 experience and make him a vampire, if we wanted to. And in a lot of ways, I would see that as poetic justice. The man who's dedicated his life to hunting down vampires is made one himself. But on the other hand, it would seem a little bit vindictive and sadistic a thing to do, even for the leader of the Freeman. So no, we are going to spare him for now. But, McCullen, this is your only chance. Mess with me again, and I won't be so merciful. You're on notice.
I'll spare you, McCullum. I'll offer you the mercy you never offered me.
What is this ruse?
This is no ruse, McCullum. This is me letting you go. After all, you and I are both trying to save this poor country in our own way.
I'll kill you, Reid. Next time we meet, I'll end you.
You'll
See?
try.
Progress already. You called me by my name.
Yes.
Until the next time.
As opposed
Goodbye,
to
Hunter.
vampire, leech, or blood-sucking scum, we got him to actually use our name. That is indeed progress. It's not much progress, but it is progress, you have to admit. That fight was a bit of a narrow one, though. I could have very easily lost that if things didn't go so well. Especially considering that anti-vampire system up there near killed me. So the fact that fellow was walking up to me was a coincidence. I thought that was going to be a trigger to a cutscene where I'd be told some important information. I guess not. For now, we have to rescue Dr. Swansea. Get us over onto the boat to Finsbury Gate. I'll have to see to a lot of the sick people soon enough. But now, we have to rescue Dr. Swansea from the Doris Fletcher Theatre. Oddly enough,
Doing this.
the Doris Fletcher Theatre is going to be where we save him from. Now, that's an auto save. And one of these assholes has decided to turn up. Because of our situation with Ascalon, apparently this prick wants to murder me. And thinks, for whatever reason, he'll get rewarded by the Ascalon Club for killing me, probably. I am not amused. Not in the slightest. Let's just get to the Doris Fletcher Theatre before more of this nonsense happens to us. That's a pre-win rookie. Hello there. Blood on a stick? Alrighty. Now we'll loot that. Take this. Plenty of free one around here, apparently. Now the thing we gotta figure out is... will the entrance be open? Or am I going to have to take the traditional approach to this? Cut that shit out. I swear. Lock on almost seems to be a detriment to me when it comes to being able to fight well. The ability to lock on to my enemies almost feels like a detriment. I have really got to kill this guy. He is so annoying. And down you go. Yeah, it's kind of ironic, but the generic foot soldier Priwen guards I actually find to be more irritating to fight than their supreme commander was. Irony does not begin to cover that, really. It does not. But now we can just head straight on into the theater and rescue Edgar.
So Priwen never left Doris's theater after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
Okay, gather information about his work. Yes, because some of the comments that were made earlier are things that we would really like to find out more about. Concerning why exactly the Priwen would think we were responsible. Also, Usher Tall Trees. This notebook is in here somewhere. Is another thing that I need to deal with. Learn where the notebook stolen from his agent is located. And apparently the place where we're supposed to gather information and the notebook are, roughly speaking, the same spot. I'll have to do something about this. Get down there somehow. Yes, it'll be down on the stage. From what I could tell, they are not holding Edgar there, but
This is despicable.
we should be able to find where they are holding him. And now you are dead? I don't know why I bothered to back off like that. That kind of thing is really only necessary when it comes to the exploding skull. I don't know why I backed off like that. I just did, I suppose. But what is this? New Doris Fletcher diary. Soon I'll be on the stage again, for my rehearsals are almost over. My minions are gathered around me, ready to follow my every command. Soon my audience will return, ready to applaud my art. The young, the gorgeous, my healthy audience will return to their families, their beautiful houses, and live happy lives, delighted by my performance, shocked by my disguise, touched by my grace, an infectious legacy. They'll spread the disease one by one, and they'll turn, and I'll be their beloved queen once again. They'll never forget me, and I shall have my revenge on the dirty trick fate played on me. Okay. It's a little bit disturbing. The thought that she actually planned that much to infect people. Nothing over here to loot. Doesn't seem like. Let's see. Down here is where we need to go. What's in? Fucking stop it. That's all I have to say with regard to locking on and shit. Fucking get back. Seriously, I've said it before, and I will undoubtedly say it again, but you guys are the most annoying enemies, even more so than your boss. You really are. Jeffy boy was not so much annoying as he just took me a while to kill. You guys are actively pissing me off. Now, what are we looking for? What's in here? Just some shotgun shells, but Edgar's down below, I can see. It's further below. What's this? Cullum's report. I just finished reading Doris Fletcher's journal, as painful and dreadful as it was. My God, the woman planned to see everyone in London afflicted by infecting all who would come to her next play. It helped me understand greatly what is going on. Doris Fletcher's real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of some Harriet Jones, who has been treated as a patient for a long time at the Pembroke Hospital. She clearly hated her mother, but used her fame and notoriety to see her while visiting the poor and sick in the East End. I don't know exactly what happened then, but this is how her mother infected her before returning to the theater, and how she turned into that monstrosity that the leech known as Jonathan Reid finally defeated. The presence of that vampire in the same hospital where Harriet Jones was treated can't be a coincidence. I am convinced he is deeply involved with the vampire plague going on in London right now. I'm also convinced that Swansea is his accomplice, and those two are planning something more terrifying than anything the Guard has ever faced. Maybe I should take some time to read the old books and manuscripts the Guard still possesses to get some answers. It may prove useful. In the meantime, I better send some patrols to investigate about what is occurring at the Pembroke Hospital. It took me 2 days to parse through the dusty... Wait, this is 2 days later, obviously, as you can see by the date. It took me 2 days to parse through the dusty registers and books we keep in the vault. God, I hate losing time like this. The search did prove fruitful once. For once, I found 2 pages that could be related to our present situation, and a copy of William Marshall's Memoirs. I took them with me to read more carefully. His creature, Marshall says he fought in 1666. This disaster that aimed to destroy London, it is very similar to what happened with Doris Fletcher. Disease, infection, hate of the living, a desire to see the city ransacked. I have no doubt now that the bloody old leech of William Marshall is behind all this, and that he is back. This could be our greatest accomplishment. If the Guard could at last find and destroy that old bastard, I believe what Marshall did in 1666 is exactly what Reid is now trying to do. Did this creature, the disaster, escape their will? Is that why Marshall destroyed him in 1666, and Reid did the same with Doris Fletcher before she became such a creature? I don't know, but those two are clearly working together, and Swansea is helping them. I will immediately give orders to have him arrested and interrogated. As for Reid, I'll destroy that evil beast myself. And then we'll deal with William Marshall and this disaster thing. Free will prevail once more.
Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence.
Theater stage key. More information that needs to be gathered. I also need to find where the notebook is. Stage should be over here, yes. Now what? Okay. Time to engage in a little bit of aggressive negotiations here. To quote Anakin Skywalker. I'll take that. Some white phosphorus, always nice, and a few bullets. Now, this
It's locked.
is a locked what's it? And that is what happens when I try and open. Sorry, when I try and close a notification. It pauses the game real quick. We got something to look at here. It looks like the Vampire Knight. New collectible. I'm not going to actually bother to read that collectible, but there are a few things over here. William Marshall's Memoirs. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole finally agreed to meet me in London. They promised to meet inside the new Cathedral of St. Paul. I like the wit and solemnity of these men. What a symbol to choose the place where I defeated this disaster, but also the place where I fell. I agreed to their proposition. There, in the sacred silence of the church and under the eye of God, they respectfully listened to me. I acknowledged my victory against this evil creature, the Dus Astro, the Eater of Stars, who only wished to spread death and pestilence all around her. Since they acknowledged my will to save London in 1666, they heard my request, my burning desire to stop the blood of hate. Their primate promised to come back to me with an answer. The primate of St. Paul wrote back to me with just a name. The Tears of Angels. According to him, this ancient artifact could heal anything, cleanse any blackened soul, and purify my blood. Blessed be the Lord, it took me more than 100 years to find a cure for the blood of hate, but I may finally have found it. Soon the rage shall end. Soon I may repair the wrong I did and cleanse my failures. Now, all I need to do is retrieve the necessary ingredients to create the artifact. Blood of the purest heart mixed with the blood of a king. To find such rare ingredients is not what worries me the most, for time is on my side. It's the last part that worries me. Pure essence of garlic. I'm afraid it will literally hurt like hell when I drink the antidote. But if that's the price to pay to cleanse my soul and correct my mistakes, I am ready to endure this excruciating pain. So apparently the whole garlic thing to do with vampires is not nonsense.
Garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind.
He did describe what he was drinking as the blood of King Arthur, so possibly. Evidence safe. Until further notice, this safe will be used to store sensitive evidences. It must always be locked. If you need to access it, find me on the last floor to get the key. And bloody remember to bring it back when you're done. Rodney.
I should find the key to that box.
Finds the safe's key. Yeah, this is going to be where Swansea is.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me? Jonathan, is it really you?
Yeah.
Easy. Easy.
Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
He doesn't look so hot. He really doesn't.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Jeffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skull epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? Are you sure that was the wisest course of action?
Not really.
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured
This
me
isn't
to
the
make
first
me
time I've
confess
heard
the
that
same
name. But yes, I've had this feeling for a while now, Doctor. You're hiding something, aren't you?
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
Why did he accuse us of creating the epidemic, though? That's awfully specific. Where did this accusation come from?
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession? Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
It's possible, I suppose, but I don't know. Something about this that I am a little uneasy about.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived.
Yes, that's the
Amongst the
kind of
immortals,
thing Lady Ashbury
yet
mentioned.
great
Why is Priwen so obsessed with him? Greatest knight who ever lived or not, he's just one person.
Why is the Guard of Priwen so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
Really? Well, you have some explaining to do, apparently.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher's real name being Doris Jones. Interesting, wouldn't you say?
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
I don't know. That you somehow had some grand revelation out of that, I suppose? I don't know. But Doris Fletcher got infected in Pembroke. How did that happen?
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
You don't see the pattern. Really, you don't see it.
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum.
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Yeah, he kind of has a point. Kind of difficult to see patterns if you don't have all the pieces. But you do know where you are, correct?
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theater. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Yes, this is no coincidence. Definitely not.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no
You did what?
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
Right, I admit it. I boldly ventured into experimental realms, but I've killed no one to appease my thirst for knowledge, Jonathan. I'm no murderer.
I never asked to become what I am, Edgar. You chose to conduct your rogue experiments.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
Okay. So now we have to decide what to do with Dr. Swansea. We have 3 choices. We can simply let him die, because he is obviously on the way there. Drain him to make his death quicker, or turn him into a vampire. Now, what he has done is certainly evil and reprehensible. That much is certain. However, 1, he had good intentions. He was trying to help people. And as we have expressed to Dr. I Hate Modern Medicine before, sometimes you have to take risks to accomplish things. So even though good intentions aren't necessarily enough, the truth of the matter is, we need Dr. Swansea around. We have to keep things running along well at Pembroke, and he's one of the factors keeping the area stable. We need him to stick around. So we are going to turn him into a vampire. As much as some people might not agree with this, it's the least unpleasant alternative. And he's not a genuinely bad person like Dawson was. He's just perhaps a little misguided. We can deal with someone being a bit misguided. Someone being a dick, on the other hand, no.
No, Edgar, you are not going to die. Unless you want to.
What do you mean?
I can save you, Edgar. I can turn your broken body into one like mine.
You truly would? After all I've done, after all that's been said, you would offer me this gift?
I have no way of knowing which punishment would be worse, Edgar. But it is not for me to decide. So?
Oh, please, Jonathan, please. I beg you. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I've always searched for.
This crazy nutjob actually wants to be a vampire?
Prepare to die and be reborn.
One
To face an
great.
eternity of guilt.
Well, this is going to be our first occasion of actually turning someone. That is to say, our first occasion of doing it willingly. We're not counting our sister, because that was before we knew how it worked. But now we still have to find the key to that safe. That's Dr. Swansea. Sure, he will live through this. But I'm going to find the safe key before we go anywhere. What's that? It's an old love letter. Not really important enough for me to read, but that apparently gives us one of the hints about Calhoun. However... Find the safe's key is the next thing I have to do. As I'm not going to leave the theater until we do that.
Don't forget to check every door.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
That's a Prewin chaplain standing over there. Who needs to die?
The beast must die!
That was me failing to heal myself in time. So, I guess a death was overdue. It had been a while since I had died. So it was pretty inevitable that it was going to happen sooner or later, I guess. Although, I need to find this key to that safe. Let's see if there's any additional information. Nope. But I'll check here. Let's see what we have. Pinned note. Last floor. What floor is that? Yes. The last floor. I don't know, but I'm going to assume for now, until I find out otherwise, it's the top floor. And we will head up to the top and see if he's not up there, as that seems like the most logical case to be true.
This is despicable.
Okay. Yeah, I need to go upstairs somehow.
Look lively! It's on to us!
Now, get your butts over here. Now, please die, bitch. Paralyze, and now you can die.
I have it.
Oh,
I can now open the box.
there's the key. So let's head back down and open this safe. Find out what's inside. Although I'm pretty sure I already know. It's going to be Usher's diary thing. That was the other object we came here to retrieve.
I really don't know if I should read this.
Yes. Personal notebook. Bring it back to Usher Talltree. And I am in fact not going to read it. I told him I wouldn't. And I do intend to keep my word. So now it's time for us to depart. Out the front door, though, since that's the only way we can go. Let's get out. And we have a couple of things to see to. Usher Talltree. We are going to need to return that to him, and we have to speak to Lady Ashford about the fact that her blood was responsible for this, as well as this formula that we found from the Brotherhood.
Return at a more convenient time. So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
Yes, but first we must speak to Usher Talltree. You're dying now? I don't care for those two. Now we could go off in this direction. You people are so annoying. Yes, I said you people, even though you're technically not people. But whatever. I'm not even going to bother to loot you. Into the temple garden. And temple covered market. Oh, by the way, you're going to die now because I've got to get past you.
Are you from Ascalon?
No. I'm not from Ascalon. In fact, Ascalon probably wants me dead. Because of the fact that I didn't do their dirty work properly. Or at least, Lord Redgrave probably wants me dead. Ascalon is most likely a bit on the neutral side when it comes to that sort of thing. Ascalon as a whole, I mean. Because I doubt all of them follow Lord Redgrave's orders to the letter. Now, though, we need to find where Usher Talltree is again, because I'm in this. I'm in the general area where I stopped getting precise instructions on where to go. But now, it should be somewhere close by. I know that much. Yes, down here is where I want. And, Usher, you can have your notebook back. I found it, and I didn't look at it.
Good evening, Jonathan Reid. Can I help you in any way?
Here you go. I found your stolen notebook.
I found your notebook. The one the guard of Priwen stole from you.
And you brought it back to me. That's excellent news, Jonathan. Were you able to keep yourself from reading it?
Yes.
I was indeed.
I gave it back to you untouched.
Then, my friend, you deserve a little something to reward your fortitude. Please, have this, with my gratitude.
What's in the notebook?
I can't answer you, Jonathan, since you chose not to open it.
Hint failed. Apparently opening it was a way to get a hint about him. I'll stop to give you some fatigue treatment, though.
Medical attention.
If you don't mind.
You'll feel better after taking this.
Thank you very much. I feel better already.
Okay.
Bye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely wander, yet it amuses me to converse with your kind. Cards never lie.
There
but
we
they
go.
are easy to read.
Investigation succeeded.
It's locked, all right.
Now what do I do, though? That's the question. Origins of the Brotherhood. Well, now I have to go and find Lady Ashbury and speak with her. Now that I have finished up with Usher Talltree, though I'm not really sure what that will lead to. I don't know if the fact I did that quest is going to lead to anything, or if it's just sort of a neat side thing. It would be nice if I got more of a reward there, but I'm not too bothered. The fact I didn't get rewarded over much, beyond a collectible and a tiny bit of experience. I mean, I assume I got experience from doing that quest. I don't actually know for sure. But now I need to heal myself, because that little skirmish there did quite a bit of damage. Watery rich blood, and this pre-win idiot has some shillings on him that I will take. Now over to here. And we need to find and speak to Lady Ashbury. Oh, right. I don't think we have any more headache cures on us, so I can't help him out currently. But Lady Ashbury is supposedly over in this direction. Yeah, this gate.
I'd step back, sir.
Okay.
Stop right now. Over there. There's one of them birds.
Now. Now, I will murder your face. Should not take too long, and indeed it did not. You're both dead. Now, heal myself. I presume she's inside her house, though. Now it's time for us to have this talk. Yes, she is undoubtedly upstairs. Yes, it's time to talk.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan?
This is going to be
What
bad
is it,
news,
my
I'm afraid. You're not going to like to hear this.
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him. Or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skal epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. but he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
You are not going to like what I have to say, but yes. Ethics didn't seem to matter much to him.
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No.
Yeah, I knew she wasn't going to react well to
This
this.
can't be. Oh,
Elizabeth, are you all right?
I don't think so.
no, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait,
enemy.
no! Elizabeth!
Yeah, that's about the worst her reaction could have been, but I really shouldn't have expected anything less. Now we have to gather the ingredients for the antidote. For some cure or other. So let's head out of Elizabeth's house. Yes, we have to gather those ingredients. It's for the antidote that we found on that piece of paper. So, we need a drop of William Marshall's blood from Lord Redgrave, a drop of King Arthur's blood from Geoffrey McCullum, and insulin in the Pembroke Hospital morgue. Out of all of those, probably the insulin will be the easiest to get our hands on. McCullum we can probably convince if we try hard enough, but William Marshall's blood from Lord Redgrave, we are going to have to enter and fight our way through the Ascalon Club, who probably want us dead at this point. So that's going to be something of a challenge. But that will be for next time, because I'm going to end this episode here. So, this has been DarkPhoenix Gaming. You have been watching my latest episode of Vampyr. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to see more like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. See you then, folks. I'll see you then.